Okay, so today our session is around uncovering the transformative power of AI in IT ticketing. And really, we're going to talk about our latest innovation in conjunction with OpenAI, ChatGPT, and we've got some exciting news from our product team. But before we get this going, obviously, let's do a little bit of housekeeping. So as I mentioned at the beginning, this webinar is being recorded, and the recording will be made available to you via email within the next 48 hours. I invite you to please type in your questions or comments for our presenter today in the Q&A section below, and we will be addressing those questions either through the presentation or right at the end as we leave time to address those. At the end of the webinar, I do have a very, very short survey. It's just 5 questions. Would really appreciate your time to respond to that. It helps us improve. And with that, let's get started. So I'm here moderating the session. My name is Muna, and I head the product marketing team here at Atera. And I'm very excited to invite my colleague, Yakov Gorbulski, who heads our product management team for the professional services automation. Hey, Yaki.
Hi, everybody. Hi. It's great to be here. Thank you for having me. I'm very excited for this webinar.
Amazing. So Yaki, just give us a little brief about yourself, how long you've been heading this product within Atera.
Of course. So my name is Yakov. I'm the PSA Product Manager here at Atera. I've been with Atera for the past 2 years or so, and I've been leading everything PSA related in the company for the past year. So yeah.
Awesome. So Yaki, today we're talking about all of the innovations around ticketing, specifically the AI. And before I leave you to present your part, can you tell us a little bit about what are some of the key developments that we've been focusing on, and what has pushed us to look at AI at this point?
Of course, yeah. So I'm also going to cover this in my presentation, but really, Atera, as an innovative company, we were looking at everything going on, and we wanted to harness this strong power of AI to the help desk. And I think it's a very good connection because we know that help desk and ticketing can be somewhat repetitive at times, and also very solvable. A lot of the things we deal with in our day-to-day, we sometimes know the answers, but we just need someone to do them for us, or we have to do them every couple of days. So really, we wanted to take all of those powers, connect them to AI, and give you a solution that helps you.
Amazing. So to that point, I think that it makes sense for us to, first of all, if you don't mind our audience, we're going to do a very, very short poll just to kind of gauge and understand who in this audience is already using our ticketing solutions. If you don't mind, Atera customers, let us know if you're using our ticketing solution. Okay, we'll give that a minute for everybody to respond. So are you active users of the Atera ticketing system? And if you've had a chance to try out our latest beta feature around the AI powered capabilities, which Yaki will be addressing in a few minutes. Great. Let's go ahead and end that poll and Yaki give you some insight.
Okay.
Interesting. Very interesting. So 60% of the audience, as you see, are active users of the system, which is great. But only 33% have actually had some interaction with the AI capabilities.
Okay. Good. So we'll be able to cover this, and I see some of you are also not using our current offering of PSA and ticketing. So that's also a great point for us to cover during the webinar.
Awesome. So let me stop sharing here, Yaki, and give you the floor to share your slides.
Great. Thank you, Muna. Just a moment. All right, let's do this. So first of all, I wanted to talk a bit about Atera's PSA, as I saw some of you are currently not using the system, the PSA system, and I know we have also a bunch of people trialing Atera at the moment. So just to cover in a few points as to what we're offering today and what you're getting. So first of all, as you know, we have a full help desk system that allows you and your end users or your clients to open tickets. We support many ways of doing so. You know, either you manually create the tickets for them, the users can have a portal that they can leverage. You can use the API. We have a chat function that you can chat with the end users on their computers. And really, we try to make the system as accessible as possible because we know users don't like to create tickets. They like to give you phone calls, and we really try to cover everything. And of course, emailing in is also something we support. So that's like in general, in a nutshell. And to that, we want to add and give you full automation and customization as much as needed. And this is something our team has been working on extensively in the last year. So automations such as time-based automations, you know, following up on a ticket that wasn't answered for 24 hours, or creating custom statuses are all features we've been adding in the last couple of months. And really, this is a direction we're heading towards, automating as much as possible, customizing the systems for you. As we understand, we have larger and larger customers who have their own workflows. And this is something we really want to support, and we're focusing on in the last couple of months. We're also working, and we've introduced a lot of collaboration capabilities. So this is more relevant for the larger teams out there. But things like following a ticket and getting alerts if someone else posted on it, one of the other technicians, and seeing actively who is working on a ticket, who is actually looking at the ticket screen. These are things we are introducing to help you collaborate, also creating shared views or shared queues. So all the team could look at the same things. You have a tier 1, tier 2 queue. These are all possible with Atera today. And to the help desk and ticketing side of things, we have a full billing and invoicing module. So essentially, logging time against tickets based on different rates that you offer to your customers for the MSPs out there, and selling products, adding expenses to tickets. And at the end of the month, we are able to create an invoice for you, and you will be able to send that to your clients. And if you're using an external accounting software such as QuickBooks or Xero for the non-US folks here, we also support syncing and exporting those to your accounting softwares. To all of that, of course, we have a reporting and analytics platform, allowing you to keep track of all the work you're doing, understanding where you invest more time, where you invest less, which clients of yours are taking up more of your resources, understanding profitability. All those things are available with our reporting capabilities. And maybe the last point in terms of the offering and our vision to this is Atera is an all-in-one platform. We're a single code-based platform, and we try to keep things simple. And this is why having the RMM and the PSA being built in together from day one is something we really try to make work as best as possible, and we try to link the two as much as we can. For instance, if you're getting RMM alerts, you can have those be turned into tickets automatically or manually. That way you don't lose any billable time, the time you spent fixing those alerts. And if you're on a ticket and you need to remote into a device of an end user, you can do it with a click of a button without having to navigate to a different platform or a different window. And we really try to combine everything. And I will show you how we had this thought also when designing the AI feature. Okay, if during this presentation you have any questions related to what I'm saying, you can submit them in the Q&A, and we'll we'll have a live Q&A session at the end of the webinar. Cool. So now that we've talked about Atera's PSA, I want to talk about our integration with OpenAI and sort of our approach and what made us build it the way it is. So first of all, just like the RMM and PSA combined, as I said, we want to have a holistic approach to help desk management, because we understand that you always have to switch context. So for example, if you're working on a ticket, most likely it's related to a computer or an agent or something belonging to the end user. And we really wanted to take that journey that you go through when taking care of issues and try to give you one flow to finish the whole operation, from the ticket to solve the problem. And it sounds a little weird, but I'll show you exactly how it works. And we also want to help you focus on what matters. You know, there's a lot of repetitive work, you know, the occasional, my computer is slow tickets. We heard people are getting those every single week. And we thought maybe we can help you solve this, you know, forever without having to think of the answer every time, give the steps and all of that. So if we can do it through AI, that's amazing. And then we can free up your time to focus on what really matters, you know, infrastructure or big projects and things that are more ongoing and we never find the time to do. And really, the last point is we sense there is a shift. And working in IT is no longer just about having the knowledge, it's also about the quality of service and who you are as a person and how you interact with your clients. And for that, you need to be fast, you need to be efficient, you need to communicate well, because our end users are starting to look at those things. They're starting to want to have a quick answer, and they want to be to receive the best answers. And this is also something we wanted to take into consideration when developing this feature. So I've explained our approach, and I want to describe what the feature does, and then we'll go to a live demo, and you guys will be able to see exactly how everything is working. But the premise is quite simple. The first thing we do is we allow you to have a quick ticket summary. So essentially, let's say you have 100 tickets in your queue right now, which are open. And with a click of a button, you are already able to quickly catch up on the history and understand what happened. Because many times we have tickets that have been going on for a while, or you have a different technician who was working on it, and then you're assigned the ticket. And you have to read through an entire history going on for several days or even weeks to understand what is happening, what did we already try, what were the steps. And the summary allows you to see the entire history with one click. And we also understood this is important for the managers out there who are in charge of the entire team. You don't want to read all the history, and maybe at the end of the day, you want to skim through all the tickets. So this is the first thing we're offering. After you have the summary, we already were able to suggest a solution for you based on the ticket history. So we're able to send the information and what happened on the ticket so far. And if we're able to identify through AI that there is a way to fix the issue, we will suggest it for you, like a technical suggestion of how to solve the issue. At the same time, we're offering you a response for the end user, and we try to make that response as helpful and as practical as it can be, and also save the time. We know that many times the hardest part is just phrasing what you want to say. You know exactly what needs to be done. The printer needs to be restarted, but you want to write it in a nice way, or you want to have some sort of draft that you can edit. So this is something we suggest doing for you. And last, and perhaps the most beautiful part, is we want to solve the issue for you. Not only suggest what to do with it, but actually create a script that does the solution we're suggesting. So if we're giving you 4 steps that might be able to solve the issue for you, we can take those 4 steps, write a script, and have you run it on the computer and solve the issue at hand, and really close the entire life cycle of the ticket without having to do anything except for click the mouse and read the text if you're interested. So this is the offering, and I want to show you what it looks like. And again, if you have any questions, please submit them in the Q&A section, and I will get to them as soon as we're done with the demo. Okay. So I opened up a new account here. This is my Atera. And I have a ticket here. Let's go into it. It says, help, my computer is very slow. Okay, very informative. Already I know what I need to do, but not really. I want to go through the history of the ticket, and let's go down and see what actually happened here. So this John Smith said, hey, can you please help me? My computer is being very slow today, John. And it looks like I'm the technician in this case, which is great. And I said, hey, have you tried restarting it by chance? Looking forward to hearing from you. And then John said, yes, it didn't help. And he's also getting a message about low disk space, which is quite alarming. And he says, thank you, John. So what we can do, I can do it from here, from the AI button that is located at the top of the ticket, or I can actually do the same things from the tickets list. And let's do it from here for the sake of this demonstration. So I'm going to click this little robot. And we have, as I promised, the summary. So let's see what we're getting. So John is experiencing slow computer performance and has reached out for IT for assistance. The technician, which is me, suggests restarting the computer, but John has already tried that and is still experiencing issues. He also mentions receiving a low disk space message. The technician is awaiting for further communication from John to continue troubleshooting the issue. So this is quite long. Sometimes they would be shorter, but we also have the option to change it, for example, to bullets. And then it's just 4 bullets. Slow computer, suggested restarting, it didn't help, and he also said there's low disk space. Amazing. 4 lines, and I already know what happened with this ticket. From here, we have a couple of options. If you're the manager or you simply want to document this, you can click here and copy the summary to your clipboard, or add it as an internal note to the ticket. That way, when you come back to it, you have this short summary over there. But of course, you don't have to do any of this, any of those things. We have these 2 options. We can generate a reply or a solution. So first of all, let's try to generate a reply and see what the prompt says. Okay, interesting. This makes sense. The prompt says, have you tried freeing up some disk space by deleting any unnecessary files or programs? Let me know if that helps. So one thing we can do is copy this to our clipboard and go to the ticket and send it back to John. And then maybe he's going to say, oh, yeah, I freed up some disk space. Everything's working OK. But maybe we don't want to send this. Maybe we want to send, I'll be there at 4 p.m. to have a look or something. So this is not mandatory. But what we can do is generate the solution based on all the info we have so far. So let's do that. So currently the solution says, let's check for malware and viruses and remove any found. That makes sense. Uninstall any unnecessary programs and run a disk cleanup to free up disk space, which makes total sense. These are 3 things I would also do if I knew a computer was very slow, or at least check, the disk space, and if I can remove any programs, when was the last time the antivirus ran and scanned anything. And so that would be the solution. And the last thing I can do is actually generate a script that does those 3 things. So let's click this magic button. I have the prompt here, which is the suggested solution down here. And what we do is we send this prompt and it creates the script that does exactly that. So we have notes that will explain every single thing that it does for you. So for example, uninstall any unnecessary programs or run a disk cleanup. This is pretty straightforward. And we have the commands here. Of course, if there's something you don't like or don't want to do, you can delete it. And then, only leave this part. Let's say in this disk cleanup. Run it as a PowerShell, click create, and then you can take the script, run it on the computer, and hopefully solve the issue. And I think this is really a great way to show you how robust we try to make this thing, and how we really try to help you deal with the entire life cycle of the ticket. Since we're on the create script page, I just want to say you can reach this page without having to go through the entire ticket flow. So if you go into admin, which is this screen, you have to be an admin, of course, in Atera. And you go to monitoring and scripts. You can also just create a script. And if there's anything you want to do, for example, restart the spooler service, because oftentimes, printers get stuck and you want to restart the service to make sure they can run. Click generate. And we have a script that does exactly that. Or, anything you can think of, basically, you can challenge us and ChatGPT. Input here, click generate. You will get a script. You have to give it a name, a description, and then simply create it. So this is really a great way to, if you're not very good at scripting, or you want to have some sort of inspiration as to how to run something, that would be the way to do so. And maybe before we go to the live Q&A, let's do just another quick example of how this can be leveraged. I think I have another account open here. Yes. Just another ticket. Help, my printer is not working. Let's look at the history. Again, John Smith, again with the problems. Hey, can you please help me? My printer seems to be broken. Every time I send a file to print, nothing is happening. Hey, John, have you tried restarting the printer? Yes, I tried and it didn't work. Okay, I'll come at 4 p.m. Perfect, thank you. The screen says something about drivers now. Perhaps that's the issue. So, okay, so he's helping me a little. Click the AI. Let's do a bullet list this time. User asked for help with a broken printer. Technician suggested restarting the printer. User tried, but it didn't work. Technician offered to come by at 4 p.m. User also mentioned something about drivers being the issue. Interesting. So we can take it from here, generate the solution, check the drivers and update them if necessary. If it persists, the technician should come at 4 and take a look at the printer. Sounds good. Generate a reply. It's possible that the issue is related to the drivers. I'll take a look when I come by at 4 p.m. Sounds great. Okay. I think that would be it for the live demo. And now, if you have any questions, I would love to answer them. So please submit them in the Q&A box.
Amazing, Yaki. Thank you so much. And I have to share with you the feedback that I'm seeing here in the chat. Holy awesome. This is amazing. It's the script. We love it. So great job there. And obviously we would love to hear what's next. But before we get to what's next, let's address some of the questions. Wouldn't it be amazing if all of this could be pushed to the client side to address? So the first question is, can the customer utilize some of this AI to do self-troubleshooting and resolution?
Interesting. So we do have thoughts around making this more accessible to our clients, to your clients, essentially to the end users. Who asked this question?
Andy Lim.
Andy. So it's interesting. We do have those thoughts. We did speak to some users who also said they still want to be aware. They want to have the human touch and have the clients feel like they're still talking to a person, and to have those things recorded. But we also had the idea of having like this first line of defense for the end users to have the chat GPT. So definitely something we considered. Yeah.
Well, definitely Wes thinks you need to keep it away from the clients because they'll be breaking other things. So not quite sure if that's what we need. There is a question here about how accurate is the scripting automation in resolving the faults?
So the way this works is we basically, as you've seen, we're taking the last prompt that we had. For example, we're taking the summary in order to identify the solution, and from the solution we derive the script. Someone also asked about the model we're using. We're using GPT 3.5, which is very powerful. So the scripts were also introduced in previous versions, and they're quite reliable. Of course, sometimes we can't guarantee 100%, and also we don't write the scripts ourselves. But we're seeing they're very good, and we also have those thumbs up and thumbs down buttons that you've seen, and our users are currently happy with them. But of course, sometimes they don't work.
So Yaki here, 2-in-1 question. So the first one is that based on your demonstration, you showed that you needed a back and forth communication before you could actually summarize and prompt. The question is that a necessity in order to create the automation? And then where is that data mined and stored in terms of the tickets being maintained and stored?
Okay, good question. So for the first part of your question, we work based on the existing data, on the conversation. So for example, if I were to create a summary and a minute later the user comes in running telling me, listen, everything is fixed, and you click the summarize button again, there's going to be a different prompt. So it's based on the info. I assume, I haven't tried it actually, but if you take a full transcript, post it into a ticket and summarize, and technically there's only one comment, but it contains more, you might get some sort of summary. But I would advise that it would work the best if you have an actual back and forth between users. And again, as I said, each time there's a new comment, the output is going to be a new one. So if you summarize the ticket and you come back to it after 1 day, there's going to be different information, different suggestions. And based on the solution, the script is also going to be different. In terms of the data, we are working with Microsoft. None of those prompts are saved there, and our data, the ticketing data, the conversation and everything is stored in Azure. But the data of the prompts themselves, what is sent to us, is not being stored or mined or trained for the module or something like that.
Okay, and Yaki, did you mention what version of ChatGPT we're using in this implementation?
Yes, we're using 3.5.
3.5, amazing. There's a question here around, can we create a script for running weekly logs to monitor backups or AV scans of non-Atera apps in the center?
That's a good question. I believe so. If you specify, I haven't tried it, but if you specify the file name or the query for the log, to just give you the output, and then write the script, and then you can attach that script to an IT automation profile to have it run once a week. I assume that's something that could work. I haven't tried it myself.
Okay, what about languages? Have we done any implementation, for example, if the client speaks Dutch, have we done an implementation to translate and provide a resolution?
Good question. I haven't tried it in a different language. I believe it's going to work. I'm not sure, Cohen. I would check it and get back to you.
Okay, perfect. And when the AI generates a script, do you know what language it utilizes to do so?
It depends on what you choose. I'm still screen sharing, am I? So let's go back here. So I chose a different file type, and then it generates the script based on the file type that I chose, and then you can move it back to a PowerShell, and it's going to be a different script.
Perfect. So while you're on that screen, there is a question about, do these scripts get reused, or do you need to generate one each time?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
So do scripts get reused, or does one need to create them every time? So maybe here, the fact that you can save a certain script and use that.
Right. So you don't have to create a new script each time you run into a problem. We offer it if it's something new and you don't have a way to script it and you want to script it. But of course, if you have something working, you have it stored, each user under admin and scripts, you can have your own library, my scripts over here, and you can curate your own library. And if you created a script that does everything you need for a slow computer once, you don't have to do it every single time. You can just run it every time someone says they have a slow computer. And since we're already talking about that, and I know we have some people trialing Atera at the moment, we also have a very pre-AI days, we used to have a community, and we still do. And we love our community. So we have this amazing library. There's over 800 scripts here. If you want to get inspiration and see what other people are doing using Atera. So you have this whole library, and you can clone and upvote and see what other people are doing.
Great. Nyaki, can you help clarify if I'm currently on a trial, are these AI features both on the script generator and the ticketing available? And if you're an existing customer, are those available as well?
Great question. So in terms of trial, for the ticketing side of things, you will see you have this sample ticket, and the AI, the summary, the response are limited for this ticket only. In terms of scripting, you can do any script you want by going to admin scripts and create and have fun with them, run them on your agents. For our paying customers, the feature is open to everybody without any limits.
So great question. There's a question that around the availability of PSA to clients. Is it open in all of the Atera packages? Is it an add-on capability?
Right. So we offer the PSA, the ticketing, the billing, and all of that to all of our packages. There are some differences between the different tiers that we offer, and you can see them on the website on the pricing page. But I would say PSA for the end users is available. Most of the features are available for everybody. So having a portal that is branded and white labeled is for everybody. Logging in tickets through the help desk agents, through emails, all of those things are available for all. Same for the automations, the customization I was talking about previously, the collaboration tools, all of that is for everybody.
Amazing. Can you help clarify again back to similar questions? There's some concerns here around privacy. What level of customer data is being pulled or utilized to feed the model? Can you please revisit some of that?
Yeah. So maybe the first thing I would say is if you don't press the button, nothing gets sent to the API. So we don't send any of the information without you wanting to summarize, generate a solution, generate a script. And the word feeding the module, I wouldn't really use because we are not helping train the model in any way. We're simply sending the data to get a response back, and it's not being used to feed anything or to learn. And yeah.
Amazing. Someone here really wants to know, what is your favorite AI script that you've used to solve a problem as part of your ongoing testing of this? Is there a favorite?
I'm not sure yet, but we did have a client who wanted to. We had a call with him a couple of days ago, and we showed him the scripting, and he said, I want to schedule the antivirus and read the logs, and I want it to happen every once in a while. And then he just wrote it, and he saw the script and he was amazed. So personally, I don't do a lot of scripting and I'm not the best at it, but seeing other people get very excited and, you know, have this amazing technology be harnessed to what you do on a daily basis is amazing.
Great. So what about these rare problems, things that, you know, probably would potentially never occur? How does the system relate to those?
Yeah, so I think with scripting in general, you know, sometimes there's customization that needs to be done. For example, if a script points to a certain directory or something that could be different between computers, you know, the script will not work. And really, I would try it, at least go through the script and see if there's anything that looks like it's not going to work. In general, you know, the less complex it is, the more likely it is to work. If it's just emptying the recycle bin or, you know, doing things that are less complicated, it is going to work. With that, you know, in a sense, it's a bit of a black box. So it takes a little bit of trial and error. But as I said, we have the rating system and we tested it out with users and we're seeing very high success rates. So we felt confident with opening this for all of our users at the moment.
Great. And just to answer on your behalf, Wes here shared with us what his personal favorite IA script is. And he says, I made a script to determine what PID has a specific file open when you cannot find out why you cannot delete a file because it is open. So wow. He created a script for that, and now he can easily delete those files that he could not determine. So thank you, Wes, for sharing that. We have a couple of other questions, more generic ones. Is there a quoting function out of the platform?
A quoting function. We do have flexible invoices in case you're not leveraging Atera's. If you don't want to build out contracts and you just want to have like an impromptu invoice and send that as a quote. And I know our marketplace team is also working on an integration with Zomentum. I'm not sure exactly what the status is right now, but that's like a full-blown quoting and CRM system that our users will be able to leverage.
Correct. I know, I believe that the Zomentum add-on in the App Center will be available in the next 2 weeks. That's the target date that we have. And like Yaki said, it's a quoting solution that's pretty robust and will be available with a trial that you can leverage. There's a question here also a little generic. Is there a forum where customers can contribute development ideas?
Oh, absolutely. So if you're inside Atera and you click your face over here, we have our features board over here. And by clicking that, you're taken away to our features board where you have the different categories. I would love to hear anything PSA, but if you have anything Atera related, you're free to go here, upvote, discuss with fellow Aterans about what you want. This has actually been guiding us a lot in the past developments. The things I've mentioned, like time-based automation, custom statuses, the collaboration tools are all ideas that came from the features board. So we're always eager to hear what you want to see from Atera.
Great. Yaki, the AI scripts, are those supported on Mac as well? Can you create scripts for Mac?
I will check this, just one moment. I believe. So, yep, looks like it should work.
And which operating systems are supported by the automatic script generator? I'm not sure I understand that, but.
So we support these file types. And then you can choose to run the script on any agent you would like, basically.
Great. I think we've gotten through the majority of the questions here. Again, there's some, back to what ChatGPT version. I think that's the last one. And then, we'd love to hear from you. Looking forward, one, how do customers stay updated on what's in plan? And then I'll talk a little bit about how we notify and where they can go ahead and take a look for what's available.
Perfect.
So Jackie, can you let us know, what's in plan? I don't know if you had planned a slide or you just want to give us an update of, where we stand now with the beta feature.
Which beta feature? I'm sorry.
The AI ticketing is currently in beta and we continue to build and progress with it. So what's next for AI on your domain?
Yeah, so we do have some thoughts about leveraging I would say the more advanced models and harnessing those. We know there's a lot of info inside Atera. Users have ticket histories, people are building knowledge bases, and we're exploring how we can take those and benefit you and your end users down the line. We don't have anything concrete yet, but as I said, we're very happy to hear if you have any ideas. So do let us know if you have anything, but we do have some plans. I don't want to spoil them just yet, but we're working on them.
Amazing. I think the last question that popped up here is, do I need a ChatGPT license? Do I need to purchase a license? Just to clarify on that.
Yeah, so there is no need. It's coming out of us, and there's nothing you need to pay for or license. You simply do it through Atera.
Great. So just to summarize on that, this is I would say, part of the stepping stone for Atera into the world of AI. We started off with generative scripts that Jackie demonstrated. We went ahead and added this implementation into ticketing to help simplify and accelerate resolution. And this is currently available to existing accounts in various packages. And of course, if you're on a trial, you will get a glimpse of this within the ticketing, but you won't be able to fully test it out until you have a fully purchased license. In terms of staying up to date on what's available, we've got our release notes that are available, open and public, and we do share product updates on a monthly basis with the latest innovations and focusing on key capabilities. So you can always stay updated with that. And as Jackie shared, we've got a product feature board, so we'd love to hear your ideas for what's missing and what you'd like to see in the platform. Any final words from you, Jackie?
I'm just very excited to be presenting this. We're loving the feedback, and if you have any feedback regarding this feature, we'd love to hear it from you. It's work in progress, but it's working and it's great and people are using it. But do let us know if there's anything you want to see out of our AI capabilities.
Wonderful. Jackie, thank you so much for sharing these insights with us today and for presenting the solution. We're all very eager to see what's coming next. And, I welcome you all to go ahead and test the capability. I do want to remind you before we close the session, this has been recorded and we're happy to share it, as I said, via email. There is a survey, just 5 questions that help us continue to improve, and I'd love to hear what other topics you'd want us to cover. So again, thank you everybody. Thank you, Jackie, for your time today. And
thank you,
see
everybody.
you all on our next webinar. Thanks again. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.